Fergus Hanson is the Director of the International Cyber Policy Centre at the Australian Strategic Policy Institute. He's with us this hour from Canberra. Fergus, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me along.
Okay, so as expected, a raft of new laws aimed at protecting customers are on the way. The focus seems to be on data sharing among companies and government departments. So in a practical sense, what will change? What will Australians be doing differently when they log in? How effective do you expect this to be?
Well, what we're looking at in these first phase of reforms is an easier mechanism for companies that are subjected to a data breach to share some customer information with other entities like banks or it's called Services Australia here, which is essentially the agency that does a lot of our transfer payments to citizens. So sharing data with those types of entities so that they can help prevent fraud, identity fraud, essentially. But I think that's really only the start of the process here. We're going to be looking at, I think, potentially fines for companies that are subject to data breaches and potentially other remedies like action around ransomware, for example.
You know, just after this cyber attack on Optus, I want you to listen to how the CEO of Optus described the breach. Here she is.
This particular one is not similar to anything we've seen before and unfortunately was successful. And we are looking into it really strongly with the help of the authorities to make sure we understand fully what has transpired.
Well, we now kind of understand what did actually transpire. So the details have come out that Optus was unwittingly sort of leaving the equivalent of backdoor open to its network, which allowed the hackers to just walk in. It was via an application programming interface, which was open to pretty much anyone who knew what to look for. It wasn't even password protected. So to imply this was a never-before-seen unprecedented hack no one saw coming seems disingenuous to say the least. Optus has a responsibility here, right?
Yes, it's one way to say that it's something you haven't seen before if you've just left all the doors open. So in that sense, maybe it was unique and original. But I think the issue we've got here is, there's a bit of back and forth about what actually happened. The company, disputes that it was that simple. The government has pushed back against that and said that it wasn't a sophisticated attack, and that Optus has got a lot of blame in this situation to bear. I think if we take the government's view, which I think is probably the one we should be looking at in this case, Optus hasn't done the right thing by its customers. It hasn't taken the right precautions, and it's resulted in a huge data breach. About half the Australian adult population has potentially been impacted by this, and not just in a minor way. In some cases, pretty significant amount of data being leaked.
Yeah, and it seems last week when you talk about the government sort of looking at Optus as saying, "Hey, you've got a stake in this. You've got to take some of the blame." In the Parliament, they were demanding accountability. Listen to this.
Overwhelmingly, this is Optus's mistake. This is Optus's stuff up, and it's up to Optus to rectify the customers, and it's up to Optus to ensure that any cost arising out of this is compensated by Optus and not by the government or other government and the regulators.
So you mentioned in the laws which are yet to come, or the legislation which is yet to be put out there will be sort of fines for corporations, because these new cyber laws right now, they don't seem to address the issue of corporate responsibility to customers after a breach like this.
Well, that's right. We haven't yet seen any, concrete examples of what the government's thinking of when it comes to fining companies or potentially fining them. One of the challenges you've got here is the cost to government entities that might have to provide new identity documents like driver's licenses or passports. At the moment, that's borne either by the individual customers who are impacted, or if the government is pressured into it, by the government departments. But you've also got the cost to consumers. So it's a huge amount of effort for individuals to go about changing their driver's license, passports, other details. And it's also, there's a heartache that's involved in this for people that are victims of identity fraud. And we're talking about, half the population here. So it's a large number of people. So I think there's two issues here. One is the costs on replacing documents, but also the costs to customers who are impacted for the pain that they have to go through.
Yeah, Fergus, thank you. We're out of time, but I guess at the end of the day, someone has to take responsibility when they leave the back door open.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right on that.
Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.